if I'm in the mood to make some aggressive hip hop, I usually go for aggressive strings. And there are a couple of techniques that you can use right away that will give you automatically those aggressive and very, very hard type of strings. And I have a couple of them that I use on a regular basis. And some of them are based on, let me open here. I don't know, let's use essential strings from Flex. And let's use, for instance, this one, staccato. So I like to use these articulations whenever I want to do something aggressive. I like to go with different articulations. And what I like to do is go in octaves. So this would be a lower octave. And you can already tell that this sounds aggressive and it sounds with power. But if I do like a minor chord, it doesn't sound that great, especially in the low notes. If I go higher, maybe. If I go even higher, yeah, this could work. But in a lower register, it doesn't sound that great. But if I do an octave, like this one and this one, now we have a little bit more to work with here. And we can actually do the same. I was doing a C minor scale. As you can see, we can very, very easily do something very aggressive and make it sound really cool. So let's try to find something here. Let's do here, and maybe let's do a metronome, and let's do another, and by the way, let's change the scale to C minor. And let's do maybe something here, and let's copy these ones. This is what I was talking about, doing octaves of the same note. So already we have some aggressive notes. And let's go and maybe add one here, D sharp, for instance. And we could do another one here. Just copy this, move this around, and then do something different from this one, which could be going from a higher register to a lower one. Okay, let's maybe put C, D here. Okay, I like this. So this could be a base to have something like this. So I would put octaves on lower notes. And then if I want to bring something higher, then I would start bringing maybe here. Something like that. I could record, or I could just go ahead and put it manually. So it would be tung, tung, tung. Okay, let's do it manually. Let's do here, here, and there. And we could do maybe here. Yeah, that's what I was originally playing. Okay, so let's do something like that. Just copy and paste. And here maybe we could change something for, so we go to D sharp. So maybe we could do a D sharp major note. It's called a chord. And so this sounds a little bit happy. So what I could do, instead of going like this, I could go maybe like this. Yeah, that sounds better. So I can just copy this over, and now I have a chord progression that sounds really aggressive. And for this part here, for instance, I could just go, we started with G. So I could go to G and do something like go higher and then go to here. Let's see if this sounds nice. I like that. And as you can see, this is very easy, and now we can play around with other, for instance, here. Yeah, this one doesn't sound that great, especially in the low end. Let's do sustain. Yeah, sustain doesn't sound that great. Let's do pizzicato. Yeah, this one sounds great. But again, my preferred one would be staccato. Okay, so now we have a hard, aggressive string preset or chord progression. The next step, what I would do is add a little bit more aggressiveness by adding maybe some distortion. So one of the plugins that I've been loving to use is the Camel Crusher. This is a must-have in all of music production arsenal, I guess. And if I play this, this will be very loud. So let's move the volume down a little bit. And you can see that it adds a little bit too much of distortion. So let's reduce maybe here the compression to 0 and then start adding compression and maybe some distortion there. Let's add a little bit of mesh distortion. So we already have now a little bit of light distortion, and we can still add some compression here. Maybe a little bit less. So this would be my preferred way to go. And then of course some drums and bass. And then you have something very aggressive. Of course, I can maybe do something else very easily. So let's see, I started with C. Now we could go, for instance, for a different scale. And we could go for, let's go to F sharp. Again, going with the theme of having low notes in octaves, and then on higher notes I could do the chords. So let's see this one. Okay, I like this. So this one would be the kick positions, something like that. Let's see this one here. Maybe in this one I could go a little bit faster. Maybe go down from down up. Okay, I like that. Let's maybe add some notes here at the top. Okay, so what we could do is, in this case, we could do some type of arpeggio. Arpeggio is also very, very nice, maybe on higher octaves. Okay, I like that. Let's keep the theme going. Okay, like that, and maybe another one. Okay, and here we could do the same thing, but maybe change some of the notes around. Yeah, here we don't have any more. So maybe we could go down, go down here. So like that. Oops. And maybe like that. I'm not sure if this will sound nice, but again, the idea here is to start putting notes around, and then we can play around and move them around. Yeah, I like that. So as you can see, the idea for making aggressive strings is to, in the lower register, just do octaves, always octaves, because this gives a lot of strength to the strings. You do very, very one octave apart. You can also go a little bit higher if you want to leave space for low end, like with basses and stuff like that. Stuff like that. And then on the higher notes, you can play around with what's the word, with chords, or maybe arpeggio, with making chords, stuff like that. Let's go with what was the one that let's do sustain to see if this one sounds good with sustain. No, not really. Let's go pizzicato. Yeah, pizzicato now sounds cool here. So this would be my two ways, I guess, to make strings. Of course, every you can play around with different sounds, with different chords, scales, and it's just a framework, I would say. Octaves in the lower notes, and scales or arpeggios, in chords or arpeggios in higher notes, and then do a combination of that, and you would grab and you would get something very aggressive like that. I could make a beat just with this very, very easily. Okay, so I think that's it for this question.